Alright guys, now we will do this type of skull, which is a little bit more dynamic. It's not exactly the more the standard, your standard skull. It's something a little bit more interesting. I saw today in the Instagram of Lost Bear Studios. Amazing things, by the way, they have. It's pretty cool. And we will try to do it. We will do it for a couple of minutes. I mean, for an hour, something like that. And then we'll do some ArtStation reviews, as it is in the title of the video, of course. Yes. Okay, now. This is just, as always, I'm starting with very low poly and adjusting it until I have a decent shape, and then we continue with more polygons. But in the beginning, always very, very low we start. You know, people are often forget you have to start very low, especially if you are intermediate or beginner user. Even I'm not exactly a beginner. I'm always starting low because this is the way to do it. And this way I get the best result. By the way, remember, in the recent versions of Blender, in 3.5 exactly, the grid for remesh is not with Shift R, but only with R. So the remesh grid is only R, the shortcut, only R. Yeah, it's not something too much, but they're changing things. I don't know why, but they change something sometime unexpectedly. Soon we expect version 4 to come out, maybe after a few months. They say it could be this year, even 2023. We'll see how this will be, but this will be interesting. I don't know what new they can offer that will be worth it to be a new version of Blender, but if they have something in their sleeves, I will be glad to see it. It will be very interesting. Hopefully something new will be for the sculpting. By the way, people are asking me, VDM brushes, do you use them? Will you use them? Stuff like this. I didn't use VDM brushes in ZBrush, so probably I will not use them that much in Blender too. It's not something that I use. It's something that will probably save you some time if, for example, you're having difficulty sculpting some things, but this will not make you a better artist, I think. Which, yeah, I don't know. Probably it's not the main thing to be a better artist. Maybe sometimes it's to make money, not so much to be a better artist, but still, yeah. Everybody will figure out by themselves. I'm not everybody, so I can say for myself that I probably will not use the VDM stuff. Maybe at some point, if they make it very easy to make VDMs and to use them, so sculpt something and then make it into a VDM very quickly and then reuse it, probably then I will consider it. Now I'm not sure how easy it is. I haven't tried it, but I'm not sure it's very easy. We'll see. So, teeth and everything. Yeah, it's dynamic skull, as I told you, as you see in the description. Thanks, your course about female character in ZBrush is great. I guess so, yeah, it's the only course for female anatomy which is worth it these days, so hopefully it's great. Yeah, I know I'm a little bit modest, but modesty is needed sometimes. You have to be modest, you know. We don't need to be rude or to be like ahead of ourselves or something. To be modest is fine. So my course is the best I know. Reminds me of medieval from PS1. Yeah. Nico, how are you? Fine. Nice concept. When did you start Blender? Yeah, last year I started seriously Blender last year, January. 2nd or 3rd of January it was, I think. Last year. I started seriously sculpting in Blender. Before that, I was modeling, making UVs, fixing some things in Blender. But then I started seriously. Just 1 year and couple of months ago. Not too long ago. Nico, how do you think it's the best way to create a portfolio to break into the games industry? Of course, yeah, it's a good question. But the answer is very simple. You have to just make good models and good topology, nice UVs, fine textures, and post them online. And the most important thing, they have to be viewed by a lot of people, which is probably one of the difficult things these days. There are a lot of people who want to be artists and they're trying their best. Not everybody can succeed. Of course, only the people with the most determination and those who are willing to put enough time onto this. If you're not willing to put at least 5-6 hours every day to become something, whatever it is, not only 3D artist or whatever, knife maker or whatever, 6-7 hours a day, it will be a very long process. So I suggest, if you really want it, to just, put the time into it and it will happen eventually. There is no very, very good artist who is sitting without, very good character artist, for example, who is sitting and don't have a job, don't have freelance or something. It's impossible. If he's very good, he will become slightly famous, he will have followers, because you don't get good in few hours. You get good in some years. And in those years, you are posting, you're socializing with other people, you're seeing what they're doing, you are getting better and better. And at some point, you will have enough followers that your works will go into trending in ArtStation, for example. Most of my works are going into trending these days when I post some course, and it goes to trending usually, which is helpful to get to more people, I guess, yeah. It's pretty helpful. The concept is in the description. I don't know if the concept is in the description, but yeah. The link to the Instagram channel is in the description of the guy who made the concept. As I said, very, very good. So now, as I told you, I will repeat again. We will make this concept, I will make it, for no more than an hour, probably even less. And then we'll go and review some ArtStations from the Discord channel, because it was a long time since I did it. And it's a cool thing to do. It's a long time. I don't know the lyrics of this. But cool songs, At some point I have to, disable the symmetry, but now I will show you how you can do everything from sphere. So this is a sphere. I will put it down. And then I will turn on symmetry. And I will make it into this Joe. I know, it's ridiculous, but I will do it. And you ask, but Nico, why are you doing it like this? I think this is the fastest, the faster way to do this. At least, I hope it is. If you think there is a faster way, yeah, come on, show me. We may look at Nico version 2, by the way, today. There was some joke in the Discord channel that there is Nico version 2. There is a ghost behind me, by the way, don't pay attention to that, it's normal. There are some ghosts in the house. So, completely okay. Ще му затворя вратата. За да не се чува нататък, ако трябва да чуят. I'm speaking a little bit Bulgarian here. You probably have noticed. Some Bulgarian language. Bulgarian words. Very rude language, by the way. Very, rough. For rough people. Okay, so this should be a little bit smaller probably. Yeah, let's make it smaller. And we have something here already looking kind of concept-wise. Now, something that I will say a lot of times in my future courses. By the way, I have started my new course. This this is what I did for 3 videos, 20 minutes each. So it's not much, as you probably can see, but at least I started. Now, what I will say is working from concept is the most important thing, the most important skill for a character artist. That's first. Second is that in order to work from a concept successfully, you have to look at the concept. Yeah, I know that sounds very strange, but you have to look at the concept a lot. You have to watch the concept and look at it at least the same amount of time that you are spending looking at your model, which is difficult, by the way, because usually, especially when people are kind of not very good, they are beginners or intermediate artists, they are spending more time looking at their models because they are not sure with they're not good enough with the tools, with the program. So the more experience you get with the program, the better you will become in working from concepts. You know, when I was learning ZBrush back in the days, when I started with ZBrush. So when I was learning ZBrush, I was not that good in, you know, working with concepts, because I was, you know, learning the program. I was paying attention to what brushes I will use and stuff like this. And after a couple of hundred of hours, maybe 1,000, I don't know, these things become mechanical. You don't think about the brushes that much. You see, I'm talking about things and I'm sculpting at the same time without too much of an effort. Maybe I'm speaking some stupid things sometimes, which is absolutely normal. If I speak a lot, there is no way I will speak only smart things, you know, it's normal. But the idea is that when you are not good enough with the tools, you will not be able to concentrate on the artistic stuff. You will not be able to concentrate on the concept, you will concentrate more on your model, and then your model will not be as the concept. It will kind of be difficult, different, but it's not a problem. This is normal. This is a process and it takes time. Let's see some questions or mentions. VDMs are useless if you can't already append things. A problem. Do you use Marvelous at all? I don't know if I should learn it. I have a stylized style, but very close to real life proportions. Yes, Marvelous Designer. Marvelous Designer with the clothes, yeah. It's always good to know another tool, especially if you're working with realistic models. If you're working with stylized things, I don't recommend Marvelous, because it will make it more difficult to make stylized folds, in my opinion. You can probably put it in your workflow, I guess. Probably it's possible. But I don't quite recommend. I recommend practicing folds and making them at least until AI takes over and make them for you. Hello Nico, molto good afternoon, como vai? How are you? Yeah, fine, thank you. Marvelous is amazing. Once you learn it, you will use it all the time. That depends. Is the head size equivalent of 6 eyeballs, or should I just eyeballing the size myself? That's an interesting question, yeah. Maybe you should eyeball it. Measure it with eyeballs. That means eyeball it. But yeah, eyeballing it, it's easy after you have some experience. Before that, it will be difficult. So I guess measuring it will be better for you. Better. It'll be better for you. Awesome, the Viking course is coming. Don't be that fast. It will come at some point, but in the future. Hopefully it will be until the middle of next month. Hopefully. If I manage to do it earlier, it will be amazing, but I doubt it, because now some Easter things, vacations, stuff like this, it will not be possible to work as much. So yeah, laziness, you know, also is a thing. Okay, disable symmetry, start working. I will not make this kind of breaking things here, breaking bad, because we want to be faster. We want to work faster, and we want to do it quickly, the skull, and then continue with our feedbacks. Many people have posted their artstations in the Discord server, and we have to respect that. We have to pay attention to most of the people, at least. Today probably we will not be able to pay attention to everybody, but hopefully some of the people will be there. Now, I masked the one of the two, so I can put the other one above it, above and beyond. This will give us this kind of actionness. Actionness is a very nice word, by the way. I invented it just now, and I think it is amazing. So let's go. Hi, and happy to see you again. Happy? Really? Okay. I'm happy to be here again. But you see, I don't, you know, spend too much time without making a live, a stream. I do them every other week these days. Hopefully I will be able to do it every week, at least once. And I am able to do it. I'm not saying that I'm not able. I'm able. It's not a problem for me. It's a problem for my laziness. That's the thing, you know. And laziness is something that we all need to work with and fight with it, you know. And I will try to fight it more, you know. I have time. I can do it almost every evening, but you know, lazy, just lazy. And every evening it will be too much, right? It will be like, oh, not Nico again. It's like, bleh. So that's why probably it's good that I'm not making it every evening. Even 3 times a week it will be too much. It will not this guy again. Why? Why, Delilah? My, Delilah. Yeah, not my favorite. It's not, this song is not made for me. I mean, if it was, yeah, but it's not. But this guy, what was the name of this guy who is singing Delilah? I don't remember. Koi? Tom Jones. Tom Jones, yeah. I cannot be Tom Jones. I can be Phil Anselmo, for example. Not a problem, but Tom Jones, no. Difficult. Too much. Too much for me. Alright, I think it's good. Relatively good. Now it's time to refine it a little bit and we are ready, like for 20 minutes. Hi, first time catching your stream. Pretty good, yeah, if you like it. But the head is too small. Yeah. When does you release new course about female character? After the Viking character, I plan to release a sexy female character. I'm not sure yet about the concept or something, but I'm determined. Sexy female character, it has to be. Why, you will ask? Sexy female characters I can do, and I do them fairly well. And also, they sell pretty good. So, yeah. But the Viking, I just liked it too much. I had to do it now. And then sexy female character. Pretty cool. Like the Demon Huntress. Something like this. But we'll see. Something like manga style. I'm not sure yet. I will try to find a pretty good concept. And I will succeed. Usually I do. So, it's fine. Do you also work or teach Blender at your job? I don't have a job anymore. I don't work at the studio or something. I just teach. I teach Blender in a local academy of game art. And that's my only, like, something like a job. Other than that, I do some freelance. I do some private lessons sometimes with Luca. I don't know if Luca is watching. Luca from Italy. He convinced me to do private lessons with him. And yeah, now I can do private lessons with everybody. They're cool. But yeah, the idea is I don't have a normal job. I just make courses. I just make YouTube videos. Stream. Although from YouTube I don't get too much money. Almost nothing. Because most of my videos don't have advertisement on. I don't think they're worth it to have advertisement on, so yeah. We don't need that. We don't need that shit. Let's put this on the side. And make it look like the concept a little bit more. I'm not saying it will be exactly like the concept, but the idea, my idea is to make just a dynamic skull, something that resembles the feeling of the concept. You know, to make something that looks 80% like the concept, it's pretty easy job. It's very fast. But to make it look like 95% like the concept, it's at least twice more time. I mean, double the time or triple the time. So a couple of percentages, like 10% at the end, are too much time. So yeah, not worth it quite much, at least for the stream. I mean, if I'm having some freelance and they're paying well and they want me to do exactly like their concept or even better than the concept, okay, I will do it. It's not a problem. Какво я виж, Йони. Явно се чува. So. Yeah, let's see. Hey Rico, it's always pleasure to watch and sculpt along with you. Do we need to post our ArtStation profiles on the ArtStation section on Discord? No, you don't need to do this. Only if you want. It's not needed. I mean, nobody will fine you if you don't do this. Nobody will point the finger at you and say, you haven't posted your ArtStation there. No, it's not a problem. If you don't want to do it, just don't do it. I will understand. It's okay. Not an issue by my side. I notice you don't really use the Dinotopo feature. Do you not find it useful? Yes, I don't find it useful. That's why I don't use it. I don't find it useful. That's why. That's, by the way, it's very, yeah. It's not useful. Not use it. No, it's for me. As I said, I'm not you. I'm not all other artists. I'm me. If I don't find it useful, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't find it useful on somebody else. It may be just my kind of workflow. My kind of workflow is using only the remesh, working from low to higher and higher poly count until I have the details I need. That's my workflow. If I need to use the Dinopo feature, which I have used a couple of times for work, if I have a very, very high poly object and I need everything to be one object, for example, like the head and the body to be one object, then I will use Dinotopo to put more detail on the head so I can have the detail there. But yeah, something like this will probably make me use it. Other than that, not so much. I just don't want to use it, you know. It's buggy. It's a little bit buggy. It's also a little bit buggy in ZBrush, so here, more buggy, of course. That's why it's not nice. We don't like buggy things, you know. We like nice things. If we can have them, of course. Hi Nico, do you go to the gym? I used to go to the gym, by the way, back in the days. Now I don't go to the gym. I just do a couple of push-ups every day. And sometimes pull-ups. That's it. And yeah, I'm just keeping in shape, but this shape is starting to get too much, I mean, much rounder than before. But that's normal because it's the old age. And also lack of discipline probably. Eating a lot of sugar is not helping at all to keep the shape not so round. So yeah, a lot of things are into this. Кой иска първата? А глупствено ли я смени? Майко. Майко means mother in English. In Bulgarian is Майко. Yeah, it's something like, oh my god. Mother. Mother is very nice. Mother, tell your children not to walk their way. Tell your children not to walk downstairs. Mother, mother. Okay. Here, I think we are almost ready for half an hour. I think it's good. Hi Nico, do you use any platform? Have you applied any particular setting to a Wacom tablet for pen pleasure? No. Hi Nico, do you use any platform to work as a freelancer or the job comes to you? It comes to me, but not too much. These days it's a little bit dry. Why don't you want to find a permanent job? Because it takes a lot of my time, and now I can, you know, measure my time and see where I want to work and when I don't want to work. It's just freedom, you know. Nico, do you go to okay? Your twin got caught. Nico, I'm sad. Yeah, he will come, by the way. Again, when Diablo came out, he will be here. Don't worry. He will rule again the world. Sorry if this is annoying to hear again, but how many times do you usually end up with subdividing the model? That's I don't know. I mean, 4 times probably. Yeah, about 4 times should be the answer of this question. Would you be able to make sculpt like, for example, the bull warrior in Blender? ZBrush sculpt looks super realistic and so much professional. Probably yes. I mean, my sculpts in Blender look also a little bit professional. Maybe not as professional as the ZBrush artists, but they are just more professional probably. Yeah, professional stuff. Because ZBrush is more professional program probably. Yeah, it's about the professionalism of the program, not about the artist. It's the program. Of course, irony. The program doesn't matter. The skill matters. If you have seen Stefan Hartmann, he's doing pretty realistic monsters and very interesting looking people, we may say. Pretty realistic, with renders, with pores, with a lot of details in Blender, with a video card 3060, NVIDIA 3060 RTX. So, yeah, Everything is possible if you have the skill to do it. The skill is important, nothing else. The skill is the power. I got the power. Power. Hey, yeah. It's getting kind of happy. Now, I'm coloring it quickly, and we will be ready in no time. Just quick coloring for the thumbnail of the video, of course. Yeah, we always need to have some color for the thumbnail. The thumbnail is the master here. The master and commander. We need the thumbnail. Hole between teeth. Never. We don't have time for this. During a session and whatnot for modeling stuff like this. Subdividing. Yes, okay. This is the follow-up of the subdividing question. How to make a gap between teeth. Just sculpt it. It's that easy, usually. Just kill one teeth. Like, for example, let me just show you. This one, we don't need it. Just go and pull it down, smooth, pull it down, smooth. And then, with couple of brushes and remesh, it will be gone for good. That easy. We'll even make a hole in its place because it has to be, you know. Just got done training, GG. Yeah. Hey Nico, I want to buy 3D models and distribution rights from people or freelancer and resell them on CG Trader. I'm already doing this with my own models and have a small constant income, but I want to scale it up. Bad idea. I'm not sure how I could make sure the models are actually from the people selling them. Also, it might take a while to break even. Any thoughts on that? No, I don't have thoughts on that. This is trading, basically. I can give you some ideas about sculpting, about Blender, about art, about working from concept, about character, 3D character art and stuff like this. Trading is not exactly my, best skill, most likely. It's one of the best, but not the best. Hi, what are the diffs between ZBrush and Blender for sculpting? The differences between ZBrush and Blender, everybody knows them, but I will say them again. Yes, let's repeat them. Differences between ZBrush and Blender for sculpting are the following. ZBrush can support way more polygons with way less hardware. For example, most laptops have low-level video cards, and ZBrush is not requiring a video card, which means with a normal laptop, you can sculpt very easily kind of good models, I mean good detail, in ZBrush. In Blender, you need kind of a nice video card to do it. So yeah, the other difference. Blender is a little bit cheaper than ZBrush. About $1,000 cheaper. Which means, if ZBrush is $950, let's say, ZBrush is $950 cheaper. Blender is cheaper. So yeah, that are the differences, mostly. But it's cool. Let's go and make a nice render. Not a render, actually. Just a basic thing. Cavity, very important. And amazing, right? I know. Very quickly, we have become masters of the universe. Pretty cool. Now, leave it like this. And let's continue with the ArtStation reviews. Evil smile, you know. Because it will be it will be a massacre. It will be a massacre. Now, disclaimer, don't get mad on me. You have posted your artstations where you have to post them. You don't have to post them. I told you, you don't have to post them. But if you post them, it's your fault. You have to blame yourself. And now you will suffer the consequences because I will review them. But let's see some comments. How? Okay, Nico did a lot of things back in the day. Yeah, a lot of things. Oh no, Prodota is in trouble. Yeah, Prodota is in a lot of trouble because she's thinking that her water is old, and it's not old. I just filled her water bottle for the night. I would love to see a Blender and Substance course. Yeah, we have one. It's free on my YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. On the other channel. This one is SpeechR Live. The other channel is just SpeechR. And the course that you're talking about is free there. It's for complete character creation in Blender and a little bit Substance Painter at the end. You will see everything from making a model from scratch, high poly, then retopologizing it by hand in Blender. Very difficult, by the way. But everything is live, everything is there. And then UV mapping, like you have to. And then baking in Substance Painter. That's it. I mean, what else do you need? Free course. What? You can also, if you want to support me, you can buy it in ArtStation or Udemy. Links in the description of this video. Thank you very much, advertisement. Now, I would love to see, okay, hey Nico, is it okay to start sculpting with this sphere, not with sphere when practicing? Yes, it's okay if it's more comfortable for you. Everything which makes it more comfortable for you to do this is good for you. Nico, when you were working at the game industry, you were only doing the sculpt part or also doing the texturing, retopo, rig part? No. You don't. When you are a character artist, you don't not only sculpt the high poly, you are modeling the low poly around the high poly, then you are making the UVs, then you are baking the textures, and basic texturing you make sometimes. But most of the time, in a big studios especially, a real texture, the main texture is made by a texture artist, basically. We are doing the rest. Of course, rigging and animating, we are not doing. I wonder if you use cavity masking plus color fill. Rarely, by the way. I know that the cavity masking is now present in Blender, but I'm not quite using it that much because it's more for if you do some monsters, if you do some very wrinkly humans, it will be useful. But I don't do that much I do more stylized characters and they have to be clean. For a particular skull, it could be useful to do it, but most of the time, no. Hi Nico, please start sculpting woman again. In my opinion, anatomy of woman is harder than man. Exactly, yes. And we are seeing that all the time. When people, beginners, when they are trying, and even intermediate artists, when they are trying to sculpt woman head, usually it turns out like a ugly man head. Sometimes, yeah, most of the time. Yeah, a little bit of a transvestite probably, something like this. Yeah, but yeah. Nico, how to save your model and then use it in some other project? Just export it as FBX or OBJ and then import it in your other project. Very nice. Of course, if your model is very high poly, the export will be long. Sometimes I have exported like for 30 seconds or even a minute. I wait for the export. And also the file like OBJ or FBX could be big. So prepare for that. But other than that, you can easily do that. It's not a problem. No holds barred. Be brutal to them. Yeah, brutal. Greetings from Chile. Thanks for this. Thank you very much. What is this video name? This video name is Gosho. I don't know what you're talking about. You are the best. Thank you. Where Udemy link? In the description should be a link for my Udemy courses. I'm not sure, by the way. Let me see the description of this video.
ArtStation courses here. My Udemy, yes, there is a Udemy link. Let me click it, by the way, to see if it's working. Yeah, it's working. It's working. It's leading to this page. So it's working. You have to go to the description and find it. And the course about the Blender and Substance Painter is this one. And the paid version has, I think, 3 more videos about hour and a half extra content, which is not that much, but it's a little bit more Substance Painter, and then going back into Blender and applying your textures there. So this is just a small difference between the paid and the free course. But other than that, everything else is absolutely the same. Salam from Pakistan. Salam from Pakistan. That sounds very interesting in Bulgarian, because in Bulgarian, salam is a salami, you know. So it's cool. But it's nice, yeah, thank you. Hello. Where Udemy link? Okay, Udemy link is in the description. Yes, awesome school and so quick. Everybody wants to be like Nico, but nobody is not putting in the time needed for it. You easily can put the time if you like it a lot. For example, let's take one guy that we all know has put the time. Gabriel Guerra. And he has put the time, and now he's good enough. And he can work in most of the studios in the world he can do. But he has put the time because he likes it so much and he wanted to get better, and he tried and tried and tried like 10, 12 hours every day and a couple of kilos every month. But doesn't matter. Kilos, you can get them down, especially when you're young. But the skill will remain. So, yeah. What are the things that clients ask you the most for freelancing? The things working from concept most of the time. One of the last freelances I did was, let me see if I have it on my desktop. By the way, I have a lot of things on my desktop. Oh, this is the game I'm playing. I'm playing games sometimes, yeah. The Foo Fighters guy. So the guy approached me in ArtStation and he said, how much you will take for Dave Grohl, to make Dave Grohl from Foo Fighters, caricature stylized style, just the head, with hair and beard, obviously. I said $150, something like this. He said okay, and we did it. It's this. So they can approach me with a concept and say, can you do this concept for our game, for example? I say okay. How much it will cost? It depends on the concept, of course. If it's more complicated concept, it could be like even $2,000. It depends on the concept. But usually if the concept will be worth more than $2,000, I usually don't take it, because it will be too long of a project. I don't usually like projects that are very long. I like this one, like Dave Grohl, for example, you know. By the way, if you search online for a 3D of Dave Grohl, this is the best one. This one. So, yeah. Hands down, I mean, yeah. Hey, Nico, have you ever used Marvel's Designer? Yes, I think once or twice, but I don't usually do it. Do you use drawing pad tablet? Yes. Can you model a gun? Of course. How could you do that broken skull part? From different pieces. I mean, it will not be super difficult, but it will take time. Like maybe it will take me half an hour to do just the broken part. Maybe 15 minutes, I'm not sure. But I don't want to do it now. Nico, can you sculpt models like Mazinger or another mecha? So these mecha things, they are not sculpting. They usually are modeling. So I think it's easier to model a mecha. It will take a lot of time, yes, because if it has a lot of details and stuff, it will take a lot of time, but it's relatively easier than to model something like realistic human or very good stylized human, female especially. So I don't usually like to model things these days, like tanks, weapons and stuff, because those things I did back in the days and I can do them pretty well. Now I concentrate more on the things that I like to do. Do you know how to animate character? Not quite much. Nico, what do you think about new hair system in Blender 3.5? Do you already try it? No, but I will definitely try it. I will watch some courses, some tutorials about it, probably from YouTube, and I will try it. And I've seen good things. I think it will be nice, but we'll see. Have you ever tried sculpting modeling with VR? Probably it's a good tool. I haven't tried it. Hello Nick, I'm planning on spending the next 15 days sculpting all day. I want to do full body characters. I followed some of your stuff and it's amazing. What's the best way to allocate this time? The best way to allocate your time when you are trying to study sculpting is usually sculpting. Yes, but, okay. You have to. Usually I start, how I do it. I start from sphere every time. Because this way, I learn the basic forms to do them better, because every time I start from sphere, and for example, I dedicate like 4 hours. If I sculpt the whole body, I dedicate 4 hours to sculpt one body. I always use references when I'm studying, because it's study, you have to use references. You have to use anatomy tools, anatomy references from anatomy books, like for example, Bames anatomy or anatomy for sculptors. They are very, very good tools. I mean books, anatomy books. And also always use scans and real persons to understand better the forms. Because if you see the biceps in anatomy book, or in here now, you see the biceps, you can understand some things. But if you see it in a couple of pictures of bodybuilders, if you see it in a couple of scans, you will understand it better and you will be able to sculpt it better. But practice it, sculpt it until you get it right. And the beginning phase is the most important when you approach with, the proportions and everything. And of course, watching my course about superhero anatomy or the female anatomy one couple of times will be good. So let me tell you, 10 days you have. Okay, watch the course. First 2 days, watch one of the courses and try to work what is in the course. Then try without the course, but with references. Pure ref here and work. And then try again with the course at the end. And then continue with references. And sometimes, like doing like 3 or 4 sculpts with references from scratch. And the 5th one, do it without any reference, to see what you have learned, to kind of push that all the knowledge, to kind of let it go down and let it, mature, we may say. You should sculpt Jetstream Sam so I can compare sculpt with Olga's sculpt. Olga's probably is better. Is it possible to be good in hard surface modeling in a month? I'm not sure that it's possible, but I've seen a YouTube channel that they're doing some challenges, 100 hours doing something, 100 hours doing something. So 100 hours they were doing Blender, and they managed to do pretty good things for 100 hours. So 1 month, if you dedicate 10 hours every day, it will be 300 hours. So you will become pretty decent in hard surface, I think. $115 for such a well done portrait, it's not much. Yeah, no, it's not much, but since I do it pretty quickly, for me, it's a good money for an hour. It's fine. Helga, I know, yeah. Nico, I'm pretty bad on how to think in ZBrush basics, such as how to solve easily using mask, polygroups, and some other features. Some tip. Yeah, the tip is practice. Practice, and in the beginning it will be difficult. You have to think more. You have to rely, watch courses, watch videos. You will get tips from there. The more library you push into your head, the more library of knowledge and tips and ways to do things from videos, from tutorials, from courses, the more you will be able to figure out yourself some things. Other than that, I don't know. But this is good enough. Sphere versus blockout. Yeah, blockout is a lazy way to do it, and also I think it's kind of probably easier, and it will not teach you the main forms because you will have a blockout. You will learn the secondary forms, but not the main shapes most likely. That's why I don't do blockouts. I always start from absolute scratch. And not only that, I just love the process from sphere the most. You know, if I start from blockout, I will lose the best things for me. The best things are starting from sphere and getting into the blockout. This is the best phase of the modeling for me. Привет, а на русском языке есть курс? Нет, я русский не понимаю, не говорю, потому что нет курс по-русски. К сожалению, день рождения только раз в году. No, my Russian is pretty rusty. I'm not good in Russian, so it's not possible for me to make a course in Russian. Ivan Pavlisku has some really cool photogrammetry scans or anatomy on ArtStation. Great reference and it's free. Yep, that's cool, yeah. Okay, so practice with and without references. I've already done your female anatomy course and it was great, lots of knowledge. But if you have that course, I recommend you, if you want to learn how to do female things, you have to practice female bodies and faces, and at some point watch the course again, because there is a lot of knowledge crammed into every video of this course. And when you watch it just once or even twice, you will get like a couple of percent, like 30% at most you will get of the knowledge in that course. You have to watch it a couple of times and then you will get more and more knowledge. That's with anatomy courses like this, especially those that are made by me. No, those that are made by people who are talking constantly and a lot. We are cramming a lot of knowledge in very small packages. Yeah, good work. Do you have any suggestion on mesh modeling, troubleshooting, low poly shaping? No, I don't have. Because, usually when I do low poly and when I start, like I do low poly, I know what things can go wrong from practice. You cannot know them if you don't practice. You have to practice low poly making and baking afterwards, because the baking is the issue. Then the problems occur, and sometimes I fight with some problems even with a lot of practice. I have a lot of practice, a lot of knowledge about low poly making and baking, but even with that knowledge, with that everything, sometimes I battle with some issues for hours, and it's super annoying. But at the end, it's like battling a boss in Elden Ring, for example. You fight it, you die, you fight it again, you die, you fight it again, you die, and it's like hours and hours, and at the end you beat it. So happy. I mean, it's a good feeling. It's a problem solving is a good feeling. Good work. Do you have one? Okay. And do you have any additional artists that you were inspired by? Of course I'm inspired by everybody who is good. Everybody. I mean, if Olga Nufrieva was mentioned here, Proko was mentioned. No, he was not mentioned, but I'm mentioning it. A lot of artists, like this guy here, Lost Bear Studios. There are, I think, 2 or 3 guys, Lost Bear Studios, but I'm not sure who drew that skull particularly. But there are a lot of artists who can inspire you. Especially, I'm inspired a lot from 2D artists, because I see this skull. This is from today, I think. I'm not sure. I think it's oh no, it's liked by 20,000 people. Maybe it's not from today. And a lot of comments it has, but I find out about it today, so probably it's recent. The idea is that when I see these things and I imagine it in 3D and I say, okay, I can make a stream about this. It inspires me to make a stream. This skull, this particular skull now, when I saw it in Instagram today, it was around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I said, I can do this, and I can make a stream tonight. Why not? Let's do this. And this is the reason I did this stream. So you have to thank this guy. Do you know Pablo Perdomo? Yeah, Pablo Perdomo, by the way, is one of my heroes, we may say. I mean, he's not a hero. He's just very good. That's the thing. He's very good. Are you doing new course now? Yes, I'm doing the new course. I've started a new course, which is this. This. Of course, It doesn't look like him that much. I mean, when we put the beard and the helmet and everything, it will start to look much more like the concept. For now, it's hideous. It's like not very cool. But yeah, this is the beginning of the course. So always in the beginning is... I have to do a course about this, by the way. No, joking, of course. But yeah. Finally, catching you live. Hello from France, and thanks for all your content, Nico. Thank you. Do you think hand-painted sculpting for games is a good path to work with? Hand-painted sculpting for games. I don't know. I mean, if you want to be a texture artist, yes, you can hand-painted sculpting for games, of course. Hand-painting in Substance or other program, but Substance is the best. So yeah, probably. But you don't have to concentrate only on that, because I'm not sure there are people who do just that. You have to know other things too, probably. Hi Nico, your courses helped me a lot. Thank you so much for creating these awesome tutorials. Thank you very much. Why don't you sell characters on sites such as TurboSquid, SiegeTrade? In TurboSquid, by the way, let me show you in TurboSquid my account. TurboSquid. Can I find it? It's interesting. Oh yes, it's here. This is me in TurboSquid, by the way. My account. So I have some vehicles, low poly. They are from back in the days. I have a turtle, very low poly turtle. I have made this rhino with texture and rig. This cow is also textured and rigged, and this is just anatomy model I made back in the days. So this is my TurboSquid page. So I sell things. I don't sell that much, but I just have a TurboSquid, we may say. It's cool. Yeah, I advertised my TurboSquid. I advertised my TurboSquid today. It's very cool. How to start learning ZBrush and Blender advice courses. Do I need to know anatomy and be able to draw? No, you will learn the program and then you will learn to sculpt. I mean, the anatomy and stuff. Talent is not important, or you just need to try hard and practice. Exactly, try hard and practice. What range of polygons, vertices do you shoot for in a sculpt that's made for 3D printing? For 3D printing, usually you shouldn't go over 3 million. But nowadays, I have been given for print like 5 million, and I don't know if the guy who is printing them is doing something with them, but they're very good prints. I mean, it's not bad at all. Let me show you. It's detailed, everything is cool. Can it focus here? Oh, it can focus very close. Yeah, very nice. We have a nice hair and everything. And this is pretty small. So, yeah, I think this was like 3 million or 5 million or 10 million. I'm not sure. It's not that much. Why do you not using ZBrush? That's a good question. Let me show you. Yeah. Can we get a sexy Succubus course someday? Why not? Tips on sculpting anime characters. Sculpt anime characters. Nice tip, I know. In how much time will the review start? Yeah, I have to start them, but I'm answering questions. This is almost 1 hour. Ooh, Coron Kizerstone is here, guys. Glad you're back to making the streams, buddy. Yeah, I'm making them like once every 2 weeks or once a week, something like this. I'm trying at least. But if I do them more often, probably it will be annoying. It will be like, oh, Nico is streaming again. Pfft, this guy. It will be too much of the same thing, It has to be a little bit of a distance between the streams. A rigged cow. Yeah, I know. Please make course about stylized female again. Yeah, but why a lot of courses? Maybe the next one after the Viking will be something like this. Okay, a fan from Brazil, great work, but Nico says something about crypto and NFT. crypto is something that is very risky, so be very careful about it. If you have some savings at the bank, I don't recommend to put more than 30% in crypto. That's it. 30%, no more. If you put more than 30%, you're starting to get stupid. I know people that have put more than 200% of their savings. What this means is they have getting a loan and put it into crypto, and then the crypto has fallen like crazy, and now they're paying those loans painfully every month. So don't be stupid. That's my thing. Okay, Sketchbook is a good program for 2D. Okay, hi Nico, how to get reviews? I don't know, it's difficult to get reviews. Difficult. Okay, where I can find a good 3D anatomy model for free so I can observe it in all angle? Try Sketchfab. Yeah, Sketchfab. And search there. In Sketchfab you can rotate models in your browser, and there are pretty good models there, so you can try that. Now let's go to the ArtStation portfolios here quickly. Not quickly, slowly. But we have 1 hour. Let's go up and see where were we at the last time. I don't want to miss anybody, so I'm not sure where were we. I think we haven't seen those. Good things, by the way, I see here. I'm trying to see something familiar. I think we have passed this guy, but I'm not sure. This is not exactly for here because this is not a review. So I will just delete this message. And yeah, this is artwork. We usually want ArtStation, not artwork, but yeah, it's okay. So we deleted one because there were two. This one, let's go and see. This night is not bad. This is the... this guy is making... this is Nico version 2, I think. Let's see him. I think this is him. I'm not sure. But maybe it's not him. But okay, let's see. Now, analyzing the portfolio. We see that this guy is not completely a beginner. He's doing some courses like the mouse course. He's doing some characters, whole characters with clothes and stuff. But as we can see, the render is a little bit too dark. For first, I mean, if your background is like light and, you know, orange and stuff, and your model is like dark and it looks like a hole in your background. So it's not good. It's not a good idea. Also, the folds are absolutely not logical. I mean, there are folds just like painted over. Folds have to be sculpted, not just put over the thing. It has to be with some logic. It has to be in, it has to be out. Those folds are just out. They are just added onto the surface of the jacket. And also the jacket is pretty soft. It doesn't have edges in these areas here and certain. And the face doesn't look quite well. It looks like kind of a AliExpress version of the John Wick, you know, John Wick AliExpress version. So it's, you know, this Wednesday. Yeah, it looks relatively cool. But for example, the arms, they are absolutely the same. They are symmetrical. The arms are the same, both arms. And, you know, the face can be something like a stylized version a little bit, but there are problems. But the render is not that dark, which is great. I mean, now we can see the model, most of the model, which is great. But still, there are ultra dark shadows, which you shouldn't have. And I mean, that's the thing you have to listen, by the way, guys. Everybody has to listen because it's very important for 2D artists and 3D artists. When you're doing renders or you are doing drawings, usually you don't want to use complete black. And in this case, you see complete black in the eyes, complete black in a lot of shadows, even in the hair here. In the shadow of the hair here, you see complete black, which not a good idea. So, okay, let's close it. Let's see what we have missed most. I think we have passed this guy, which was great. Yeah, this guy. Why did he put his portfolio here? This guy has worked on the Horizon Forbidden West, as I can see. He's a hard surface artist at Guerrilla Games. Why? How should I review this? Why should I review this? He's a professional. He's probably better than me in hard surface, most likely, because he's doing hard surface. When you're doing something, for example, if I'm very good at push-ups, because I'm doing a lot of push-ups, then some guy came. He's very good at pull-ups, because he's doing a lot of pull-ups, and he said, "Can you do pull-ups like me?" No, I cannot, because I'm doing push-ups, and you're doing pull-ups, so you're better than me. And when he's doing hard surface, he will be much better, obviously, or at least he should be. That's cool, yeah. You know, I cannot review someone who is almost at my level or even exceeding it at some point with something. It's, you know, let's see this poop here. It's interesting. I don't know why it was poop. Ooh, this is Mr. Bean. But this looks like Mr. Bean, but Orc Mr. Bean, or Troll, maybe Troll Mr. Bean. So this is Mr. Bean as a troll. Pretty cool. It's not bad. Heineko, maybe it's would be better if you review the portfolios posted here in this live chat. I don't see any, because those people who send portfolios in the channel might not be on the stream right now. Yeah, but they can watch it later, so it's fine. So Radim Kadyrov, I mean, this is not bad, but the wrinkles on the face, they have to be deeper here, where it's more up. You see, here and here, not so much. So you have to have variety. It doesn't have too much variety, but overall, I don't hate it that much. It has personality, we may say. This particular sculpt. Let's see this one. Not bad, I would say. I don't understand what's happening in the face, by the way. There is something like a metal mask or something, but overall, it's pretty good. The render is, I will not comment it, and also the lazy fur on the bear. You have to, you know, touch it more. It's very soft. It has to have a little bit of hard edges here and there to just look more like a fur. But other than that, the silhouette overall, the character is not bad. But the character itself is too much. You know, it's cramped. It's something. Sometimes you don't understand what's happening exactly in some areas. Let's see the concept. The concept itself, I wouldn't do this as a 3D. Why? Because of the face. You don't have a face, and that's a problem. If you don't have a face, it's a big issue. That's why I probably shouldn't, I will not do it. And also, you see, you cannot differentiate where are the mustaches. In the concept, you clearly see mustaches and the beard. Here you see just something like a beard, but not so much. It looks like something is floating down. You know, I was like that. I was making models too quick and not paying attention to the detail. And if you do that, it will be a problem. There will be issues. This guy has a feeling of doing the overall forms, kind of, but then the details are kind of getting away from him. But this is not too bad. I mean, it's interesting, like some kind of different style. It's fine. Let's see this orc. Maybe we have reviewed. Yeah, I think we have reached around this area here. So this guy, obviously, as we can see only from the thumbnails, good job. I mean, especially the last one here looks pretty good. The render is pretty realistic. We may say that even this could pass as a real sculpt. It's pretty good render, I would say. The eyebrows are not so much, and when we see it up close, it has some flaws, but overall, not bad at all, I would say. Good job. Let's see John Wick. By the way, I have to try to do maybe a caricature sculpt of John Wick or something. It will be a nice on stream, maybe. Amazing, right? We'll see. But we have to find a nice caricature. Usually when I'm asked to do or I want to do a caricature sculpt, I usually find a nice caricature first, of course, and then I watch not only from this caricature, from other caricatures too, because I change it a little bit, and also I watch from real pictures to see how the shapes of the face are. And yeah, usually it happens pretty well. On stream it will be difficult, but probably with some practice I can do it. Why is black so bad? Black is bad because it's no color, it's no information. There is no information in that spot where it's complete black. There is nothing there. You cannot see, it's black. That's why you avoid it. You want to have information. Of course, if you're doing certain types of sculpt, like horror sculpt or something, or some kind of art sculpt, you don't want to show your sculpt like a concept art or a game art or something. You want to show like art. Yeah, probably then you can use some black. But most people want to get a job in the game industry or something like this. So most people should not use black, should show their models in their best light. This is looking pretty good, although the face is too flat for my taste. I mean, there is no features. I mean, it's not interesting. It's just like inflated, like inflated, and that's it. That's why it looks a little bit. But yeah, today I'm a little bit evil, but it's cool. Let's see this guy. He's making very simple. And by the way, this looks pretty cool, we may say. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is pretty easy, pretty simple, but the colors are not bad. The overall idea is kind of cool. But of course, this will not get you any work in the game industry. That's for sure. You have to do a little bit more complex stuff like this, for example. I think we saw that in one of the last streams when we did this, but I'm not sure. Maybe we have. We will do it again. It's not a problem. But there are simple things. This cactus is looking very sad because he doesn't have any thorns or needles or whatever. He is very, very bald cactus, and probably that's why he's sad. But he's loving a balloon, which is great for him, because when you're a bald cactus, you can easily make out with a balloon without any issues for the balloon, right? But I don't know why he's looking so sad. He doesn't have any thorns. I don't know. But it's cool. It's a nice model. I mean, shiny and everything, not too much black and everything. It's cool. But there, I mean, when I watch this and I want some work done, what will I hire this guy to do? Maybe a certain, house, or boxy. Everything has to be boxy. I mean, houses and stuff is mostly boxes. So difficult. Maybe he has to push it a little bit more. A little bit. Let's see, Alex. All right. This is portfolio that I like. Why? Let me show you. Lobo is here. Demon Huntress is here. And the werewolf. By the way, his name is Drogo, I think. Let me see if I can pull the game, by the way, quickly. Yeah, we have to update it. Probably. Heroes of the Dark. And I can try to show you Drogo. The guy from the course. We can try to see it. Of course, I haven't unlocked it it will be locked. We will not be able to see too many animations, but no, not in the guild. Where are the characters? I forgot. I haven't played that in a long time, this game. But Drogo is around here some. It's here. Drugo. It's Drugo. It's not Drogo. It's here. So it's already in the game. So this is the model that I did in the YouTube channel, and yeah, the same one is in the course because it's the same. But this was the same model I did in the YouTube channel. Textures are not completely the same. They are touched. They are drawn over to have this kind of you know, fur and other things. So they have revamped the textures a lot, we may say, but the model is the same. And of course they rigged it and animated, and probably he has animations we cannot see because it's locked. We cannot unlock it because we don't have the necessary requirements, but this is the model and it's in the game. So yeah, that's cool. You see, rigging shouldn't be absolutely perfect. We see how here in the back the cloth is interacting with his arm and it's entering the arm, but it's not a big issue because most of the time people will see it like this. They will rotate a little bit like this. They will not notice it. They'll say, ah, pretty cool, pretty cool. And you will see the chain. Many people were asking me why I retopologized the chain along with the body as one mesh. And it was terrible. I mean, yeah, but I know that it has to be done. Because now, with this rig, if the chain was separated from the body and just put over the body, it would be interacting with the body and going inside and out. And when it's one with the body, this couldn't happen. That's why sometimes we have to do this, you know. It's a complex thing, you know. Yeah, he's animated, but we cannot see the full animations because I mean, I love the hard surface here. Let's see. Very good render. I like it. There are blacks here, but for this type of render, it looks very cool. I mean, everybody can look at this and say it's very cool. This plastic here, or rubber, I'm not sure about it. It's not looking ultra nice, but overall, this looks very, very nice. So, Alexei, a very good job on the hard surface. On Lobo, let's see. The hair, he tried to make it with real hair, which I'm not sure. Maybe he could try a little bit harder, but overall it's not bad. It's not bad. The face is pretty good. Muscles, hairs on the arm, he have put. So this guy, when you see the models that he is doing, you see that he's putting the time and the effort. He's doing all the tiny things and even more, which is very good. And it's too bad that he has only 32 followers because he deserves more. If he removes some of the oldest things, this one is it's kind of okay, but it's not in the level of his newest things. Those new hard surfaces are very good. This one, let's see. Yeah, it has some issues, but overall the anatomy is kind of okay. We have some problems. Probably the face is a little bit strange, but overall I would say not too bad. Probably I would use a little bit of a different background than the color of the genie itself. And when you pull your arms up, the chest muscles change a lot. And the chest muscle now is looking like the arms are down. When you pull the arms up, the chest muscle is starting to look like a triangle a little bit. And it's not quite much like this here. So more references, I would suggest. But overall, not bad. Not bad. I cannot hate it too much. I can, but it will not be fair, you know. Hello from 2D artist to 3D artist. Yeah, I was a 2D artist back in the day. When I was younger. I still can draw a little bit, but since I haven't drawn professionally a lot, So let's see, this portfolio is consisted mostly of hard surface, which is not on a huge level, we may say. Yeah, let's see Marlboro. Okay, the renders need work. I mean, I've done these models in the beginning like those, even much worse. When I was beginning my 3D career, 2004, I think it was. So almost 20 years ago. I was doing way worse than that, so I guess that's cool. But nowadays, the requirements are, and you know, back in the day, you haven't had too much people who are doing nice things. Overall, the level was low of all people. Now the level is very high, and in order to keep up with this level, you have to try harder. And you know, look at the best in your case. For example, the best hard surface people, try to replicate their style, and you will learn a lot of things during that process. Then you will develop your own style, or you will continue to replicate their style. It's not, doesn't matter. The thing is that if you do nice things, it will be fine. All right, this is Lovely Lovelu from Malaysia. Really very nice. Malaysia. Okay, let's see this. A little bit too much curve in the mouth, I guess. And also the pose is stiff. But yeah. And the render is not a render. It's just you know, that's a big problem. I used to do it a lot. When you post something in, for example, when I post something in Discord, I most of the time post in the whip section of my Discord server, because usually my things are like this, just print screens from Blender and just posting, because it's easier. But if I post in ArtStation, I make sure that I make the best of the render. I render it with lights and rim light, and I put a background, and I, you know, touch it more in Photoshop and stuff like this. You don't post just like this in, I mean, we have a render probably somewhere, because in the, yeah, but it's too dark. I mean, see this render and just squeeze your eyes a little bit, and here it has to be more light. In the bottom, okay, it can be black, although black, we know it's not a good idea, but let's say in the bottom it's okay. But here it has to be lighter. Like this one is a little bit lighter, and it's a little bit better. Yeah, if we squeeze our eyes, but still, for the thumbnail, as you can see, for the thumbnail, this is not quite nice. It doesn't have a rim light, a good rim light, a bright rim light, to kind of, you know, to make a contrast between the background and the model. There are things, certain things. This also is a little bit muddy, a lot of blacks, not good looking as a thumbnail. Let's see this. Anatomy. The anatomy is not super bad, although the biceps is a little bit strange, because the biceps is going one direction, then the forearm is going another direction. It's a little bit like curvy. Also, this guy is very, very strong, very muscular, and then he has some like thin neck, which looks very strange. Also, the muscle fibers on the chest are looking a little bit strange, but let's say they're okay. We have problems here because those muscles and those muscles, they never go in the same way. So those muscles here are going mostly forward, and then those are going down, and they are like this and then like this. They're a little bit like this, not parallel to each other. And parallel things on the human anatomy usually are very boring, and usually are not right. They have to be avoided. Also, the face anatomy needs more work. This is from 2 years ago, so I guess he's better now. Or if he's not better now, maybe he hasn't sculpted enough. But as we can see, he has made some caricature, which looks pretty well. If he has done it by himself, if he hasn't copied from somewhere or something, I guess this looks pretty well. So he has potential to become better, but he has to work much, much harder. Not just, do something and put it online. Yeah, I did something amazing. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Super Mario. Super Mario. Oh, we have a lot of questions. What about when things interact? Spikes or shoulder, for example, normal look weird. Yeah, but it's normal. You cannot do perfect, everything. You do the normals for your pose, and they look okay. And then you put it in the engine, and suddenly it turns out that the engine is having some issues with your normals. Yeah, that happens because we are not using, for this game, we are not using something like a normal engine like Unity or Unreal. We're using in-house engine, which has a lot of issues because it's written entirely inside Gameloft with from the programmers from Gameloft. And yeah, and it's old. It's very old. That's why it has problems with shadings and stuff like this. It doesn't look quite like it has to. You don't get views on ArtStation without promoting it though. So what's the point? What's the point on what? Even if you promote a lot, if your models are crap, you will not get views. Because people are usually watching the thumbnail, and when the thumbnail is not looking good, they are just going away. This is pretty boring, by the way. As you can see, it's not bad as a overall shape. Overall shape looks relatively fine. But then, it's straight like, I don't know. It's very straight. And this is kind of cool because it's straight, the arms are straight, and the claws are straight down, which kind of looks relatively nice, but the render is bad. Render is pretty bad. And overall, a more dynamic pose will be much better. Much better. Like this, for example. This is better, but it's black and white. It looks like a print screen from ZBrush. It looks like a ZBrush, by the way. Maybe it's Blender. I don't know. Probably it's Blender, but still. Let's see. Blender. Yeah, it's Blender. But it looks like a print screen, just a print screen. It's not quite much as a render. It looks like he just put some shadow, like I did here, and just, do it. Just print screen, which sometimes is okay. For the Lobo that I did, it was fine. But for some purposes, it's not good. And also Lobo, I think I don't know what I did with Lobo exactly, but the render was relatively cool at the end for the Lobo. But even if you send your ArtStation right now, we will review it after a couple of lives probably. This is not a good pose, by the way. Let me show you. So this looks like he's just about to sit and poop, or he's like pushing to poop, because it's not like action pose. It's not like he's bending forward or starting to run or something like this. He's just like, I'll fart now, something like this, which usually is not the best way to show your model. But overall, it's kind of, I would say, beginner to intermediate level of anatomy and stuff like this. But of course, needs more work, as always. We always need more work, I need more work. Let's see, Visar Zonda. Visar Zonda is a very interesting name. Now, what we see here is an example of don't do this with your portfolio. Why? Ah, by the way, what is this? Visar Spanka, couple of models. Visar, okay. Now this is his page, actually. So, what is this? A lot of thumbnails with black backgrounds, complete black backgrounds. This doesn't give you a good feeling of the whole thing, you know. It's very black. I don't feel the urge to click on any of the thumbnails. I don't want to see them because they are too black. But let's see this one, for example. What can we see? Yeah, a sword. Okay. Now we can see a little bit more of the sword because it's more light. We see this, which doesn't show too much craftsmanship, we may say. This, you know, it has to be more bright. It has to show more. It has to be better models also. Let's see this one. I'm not quite sure what is this. We need a new life, okay. Okay, it looks like a purse or something. I'm not sure. Something inflated. But you see, when somebody like searching for people who has to do some job, when he reaches this portfolio, what he will see? Usually, if this guy applies for a job, for example, the guy who is checking the portfolios, he will see like 20 to 50 portfolios, and he will go through them very quickly, especially those of them who doesn't, you know, who doesn't look good from the start. The thumbnails has to take your attention. They has to look nice. They has to promise something good when you click on them. Like, for example, let me show you this guy. You see? Bright, nice, blue, overall. Yeah, I know that my last things are almost all only courses, and they're all with the same basic background, but it looks cool. It looks nice. It looks bright. It looks like, you know, it gives you this nice feeling. And you have the urge to click, for example, here because it's colorful. Or on this dragon, because it's colorful. Or on Drogo even, colorful. You know, on Lobo you don't feel the desire to click because it's black and white, and on this also. But on the colorful things, you feel the urge to click, to say, ah, what is this? That's what I'm talking about. Let's see this gun. Aaron. Okay, Aaron. I think we have seen them before, but I'm not sure. Even if we have, it doesn't matter, it's okay. Yeah. Can smoking weed increase my blender skills? I don't have an opinion about this. You can try and tell me if it does. So yeah. Steam carabine. Let's see the steam carabine. Okay. Up. It lacks a little bit of ambient occlusion in my opinion. Also, some things are high poly like this. Some things are low poly. And yeah, it's interesting. But overall, not super bad. Although some things are pretty thin. Looks like they will break. Maybe. And this is just a normal gun from even from the First World War, I think. Garand carabine or whatever it's called, with a little bit of attachments here and there, which is not bad. I mean, it's okay. Let's see the watch. The watch looks nice, I would say. Yeah, it looks cool, but hard surface mostly. Let's see this. Yeah, this is from Marmoset viewer. This is the concept, and this is the resulting model. So the resulting model has problem with the nose, I think, and the mouth. because the mouth is mostly just something like drawn over the skin, which usually don't work quite well. Also, the eyes have metalness on them, which you don't want, because they are not metal, and they look metal in this guy, and he looks pretty creepy with this metal eyes. Something else, yeah, other than that, it's cool. Avoid drugs. Smoking weed is not exactly ultra drug, but yeah. Usually the best advice is to avoid the drugs, avoid the alcohol and sugar. Probably it's a good idea to avoid, but yeah, not everybody can have this strong will. I like the armor, by the way. This armor I like. The man wearing the armor I don't like that much, but the armor with this render here looks pretty cool. This blink here I like. Even on the black background is not as bad, but if it was on a brighter background, a little bit more neutral, but not black, with a little bit more variety, it would be much better. So yeah, good job, but presentation wise, black background never do very good to your works. Of course, very colorful background also will not do good. So the background should be kind of neutral, maybe a color, some color, with some variation. What I do is usually I make a blue background, as you know, with a little bit of a bright spot in the middle, like a flashlight in the middle spot, something like this, and it works. But it could be a gradient or whatever, something more interesting. Black is like blah. Blah. Black is like blah. Mario. Again. This Mario doesn't look bad. Although, what I would say, those things here on the feet, I don't know what are they, but they look too sharp. Also, the corners of the clothes, too sharp. Yeah. You don't have, you shouldn't have very sharp corners anywhere. You always have to have specular on the edges. Even the sharpest edges should have specular, like this one here. You see specular on the edge of this thing in here, and it's looking good. If you don't have specular on the edges, like on the coat and on the pants here, it's looking like paper or something. It's not very nice. Let's see the other things. 3D art. Yeah, not bad. I mean, it's cool. SpongeBob is nice. Patrick, I mean. Other things, not bad renders. I mean, yeah, more work and more things we want to see. This is relatively nice. The background I like. It's not black. It's a little bit too dark. Maybe a little bit brighter backgrounds could be cool. But overall, good. This thing is not good. It's not looking nice. It's like a scary doll or something. Like I'm watching it and it stares into my soul, although it's not looking at me, which is not a good thing. It's not looking at me and still staring into my soul. So I'm not sure how that works, but it's I will dream about it probably. Not good dreams. Do you have any advice for beginners? For beginners, I have advice. Be big. No, just the beginners. Always the advice that everybody will give you is the same that I will give you. Just practice what you like. If you like sculpting human or creatures or whatever, practice that. But creatures, I advise to use references on everything. Humans, creatures, doesn't matter. Many people like to sculpt creatures from their heads when they are beginners, which is the best mistakes, because and they're posting them. They're posting the resulting abominations because that's what the result will be. They're posting those resulting abominations in ArtStation, and they're expecting people to like them. You know, my advice for beginners is don't expect that you will spend like 5 hours on something or 10 hours on something and then people will bow to you, because some beginners do. And one of the worst mistakes that beginners do sometimes, I don't see it that often. I don't see it in the Discord channel because people there are having more realistic expectations, but I have seen that. So beginner, he's doing something in 3D and he's so happy that he's done something like a skull, but it looks very bad. And he's posting it in Facebook. And then his grandma, his auntie, his cousins, they're commenting, they're saying, the best, you're amazing, it's so good. And he's like, wow, I'm so good. And suddenly, super unrealistic expectations about your work starting to appear in your head. And you're starting to live in this world where you are kind of a 3D artist. In reality, you're not. And that's very dangerous, so be careful about that. Don't listen to your grandma when you are posting something online. Just listen to your uncle, Nico. Is it possible to review on YouTube? I post most of my art in YouTube. Yeah, if you post your YouTube in the ArtStation portfolios, at some point, by the way, there are a lot. The slider is not even in the middle here, so we have a lot of work in front of us. We have to be a little bit faster. We will review like maybe for 10 more minutes and we will get it done. Oh, this I like, by the way. I mean, you see, you enter this and immediately you see this and you say, that's not bad. Then you see some nice poses, some nice silhouettes, and you say, but that's pretty good. And yeah, that's pretty good, really. So wow, that looks pretty good, I would say. Really, just from a concept, it's very difficult to make a very decent model. This is very decent model, I would say, just from a concept. And this is an example, guys. If this guy has made all those models by himself, this is a very, very underestimated profile in ArtStation, because this guy is very good. He's very good, as you can see. And maybe he's not a super professional level, but he's good enough to work in certain indie studios without any issue. But he has only 96 followers. 97 followers he has. So it's, you know, underestimated. But you see, there are things. This is from last year. It's okay. The front, the hair, very good. Very nice. Very good, very nice. Okay. But here in the back, I would put little, you know, sharp things on the back of the pants just to make them a little bit more interesting, because from the back it looks very boring. But those things you learn from practice. You have to just practice and learn. And this guy probably is not the oldest 3D artist around, but he's doing very well. He knows how to work from concept, I would say. I'm pretty happy with most of the things I see. Yes. Very cool. Very cool, very good. Hopefully he will get more subscribers, I mean more followers, and at some point he will start to unify his things, because you see, this one, orange background, blue, very nice. It looks very promising and you click on it and you like it. This one also, bright with rim light and stuff, it looks fine. But then this with the, you know, it seems like he didn't put too much attention to the render of this one, which is kind of, when you look at the portfolio, you look at the weakest link. And when you see something that's kind of, this is not bad. Maybe the fingers need more work, but overall the pose is nice and everything, it's cool. But the idea is that when you see some portfolio, you always look at the weakest link, and the weakest link is this house. It has to be removed from the portfolio. It doesn't belong here at all. It has to go. Also, this guy has to have better presentation because he's good enough. Better presentation on this guy. Better presentation on this very great thing here. This one is amazing. Is very nice sculpt, very dynamic, very cool. Needs better presentation. I like it very much, by the way. And he has 77 likes on this one. It's absolutely deserved. And I think this, the turntable, should definitely be a little bit more up. And also the turntable could use a rim light also, because you see here, you have the rim light and it looks much better. And in the turntable you don't have the rim light and it looks like it's missing something. The background on the turntable also could be a little bit more dynamic, and this work deserves more, like presentation wise and everything, and also deserves better hair. But still, overall it looks just fantastic. I just love it. I mean, especially when you know that the concept is only from the front, and he managed to do such a nice job from the side view, dynamic thing. This guy has a talent. This guy will be something at some point, if he continues to work, of course. Very nice. Yes. Yeah, I'm not only hating today, which I hope you guys are okay with that. It's fine sometimes to not hate, you know. Hey Nico, I was the guy who said I was sculpting for 15 days. You said 10 days, by the way. Which of your Udemy courses would you recommend for practicing male anatomy? I would prefer Blender. Male anatomy, I have a male anatomy course, which is a superhuman anatomy course. It's in ZBrush, but it's anatomy course. So it doesn't matter if you use ZBrush or Blender or just drawing on paper. It's anatomy course. It's not about the software at all. So you can do it in Blender without any issue. That's what I recommend. The other thing that you can also do for practice, it's Lobo. We have anatomy also there. Male anatomy. Strong biceps. You know. Can you show us how to make your iconic background that you use for ArtStation? It's very easy. You go to Photoshop and you just... Let me show you. It's very fast. The iconic background. Yeah, hi Nico, please tell me who is good at animation. Can you recommend? I have few friends that are good at animation, but they are always very, very busy. Because good animators, are usually very, very busy. Yeah. They are very searched, very seeked. Got it. Thank you so much. I really look into them and consider. Gotta run. Thanks so much. Okay. Beginners. Do you have any advice for beginners? Okay. Let me show you very quick how to do my background. So you go to Photoshop. You open Photoshop. Amazing. Now you do another background. Another layer, which is great. Now you fill this layer with some kind of a bluish color. Let's try green, by the way. A little bit of neutral green like this here. Okay, you fill it with Alt-Delete, and then you grab your O brush. The O brush is this one here, which now is set to, because if you click on it and hold it, it will be dodge probably at the beginning, by default, but we need the burn tool. And we go to midtones here, and then we just zoom out with Alt spacebar and click. And then we drag a little bit on the sides just to darken this. I like to darken the corners and the edges and to leave a little bit more light in the middle. Now, I press Alt and click in the middle a couple of times. and we have this. It's a little bit muddy now, but if we go to the bottom and we fill the back with some color, and then we go to the top layer and we made some like mode, for example, overlay, soft light is kind of fine. This is more, liner light and some others. This is too much. Don't do this. Maybe overlay is cool, or some other could be. Normal is fine, but it's a little bit muddy on the corners. I don't like it too much. Mud is not good. So let's try overlay. And you see how it's a little bit brighter with overlay. If I disable the background, we see it normal, and now it's overlay. It's a little bit brighter. So this could be too bright. We have to be careful. So we can go and change the color of the thing overall. But the color is changing. Yeah. So let's disable the overlay, go to normal, and change now the color with Control U. Yeah, we can change it to whatever color. I don't recommend red, usually, except if it's some kind of a samurai thing. If you have whites on your model, or your model is black and white but bright, and this dark red, and the bright model will kind of pop up. But usually it's not good idea. Greenish colors and bluish colors are better. This one, no, it's too saturated and dark. Maybe if we desaturate it a little bit, it could work, but it's too dark for me. If we make it a little bit brighter, then it's too bright on the corners, and overall it looks washed out. So you have to be careful with all those things. You have to find the perfect balance. For example, this one, if we brighten it but not too much, maybe if I press Ctrl L and play with the levels a little bit, we have to be careful here. We have to not go too dark on the corners, but also not too bright. And at the end, the best way is to make sure the corners are okay. They are kind of dark enough or bright enough, whatever you want, not too washed out. And then you go again with the O and with Alt, just click a couple of times and it should happen. And as you can see, it's making this kind of texture effect, which happens naturally. I don't do this. It just happens with this. I don't know why, but it's a good effect, right? It's nice. So that's how I do it. It's easy. But you have to know Photoshop, basically. You don't have to know too much Photoshop, though. Photoshop course, yeah. Sometimes we have to. No leg day, Lobo anatomy. Used to know someone like Lobo in real life. Stick legs, but big backs and arms. Yeah, I've seen that. It's not bad. I mean, Johnny Bravo. It's fine. Nico, I used myself as reference and my sculpture ended up like troll. Are my sculpting skill problem or my face? Both probably, but most likely your sculpting skills, I guess. I don't know how you look though, so could be the other one. Nico, nice to catch you one of your streams lives. Yeah, but it's ending because we have to sleep. Red one looks like Tom and Jerry intro. Yeah. In the past you've said it's important to learn to be accurate before learning to do things quickly. Exactly. With your own experience, how long did it take you to feel like your forms are accurate? Ooh, I don't quite feel that they are accurate right now even. No. Maybe I started to feel they are more accurate like 3 or 4 years ago. So I was sculpting already, working in the industry and being a character artist for like 6-7 years and working every day. Every working day for like 6 hours sculpting. And then I started to feel like my forms are kind of more accurate. So it depends. And your feeling doesn't mean that they are really more accurate. So you have to be careful about that. Have you saved some of your first sculpts to see progress? Yeah, I think I can show you. I've shown already a couple of times. but I can try to find these. Yes, these are things that I used to do. So this, for example, is a very low poly, 400 triangles, AK. This is the gold AK. This is Chrysler for one game, or is it Chrysler? No, it's just some kind of vehicle. I did the interior too. By the way, it's very, very kind of difficult to do interior. It's a slow job. I used, of course, some photographs, and I put them. It was bad. This was one of my first characters, and as you can see, the thumbs are pretty bad. They look like they're too long, and it's bad. But back in the days, I didn't use references, and that was my problem. This is a 2D. This is not a 3D character, but I was a 2D artist back in the day, and they told me I have to do a cowboy in 3D to become a 3D artist as a test, inside test in Gameloft. So I did this as a concept, and then I did this as a 3D. This is a poly modeling in 3D Max without any sculpting or anything. But it gave me the job, so it's fine. Back in the days, the requirements were not so high. So this is one of my first sculpts in ZBrush. This is the low poly, by the way, and the low poly is a little bit more than 1000 triangles, which is ultra low. This is nowadays, this is like ultra low, but still, this is one of the bosses in the game. It looks like Danny Trejo, of course, that was the goal, but it has high poly and it's baked. That's why it looks decent, because it has a normal map and everything. Yeah, this is the normal map. So this is the low poly. This is the high poly. The high poly is 22 million polygons. The low poly is 1100 triangles. So you see the difference. There is not too much difference because of the baking and everything. And this is the maps. This is one guy. this is one guy I did by my design for a contest. They wanted a contest for a character, kind of a cartoony character, to dance on some video clips, and this guy won, by the way, which is, yeah, amazing. These are some vehicles I did for a game. This is a drawing, not a 3D. One of my drawings when I was a 2D artist. This is some kind of a jeep. This is a main character for a game I did. Yeah, the face is a little bit like it's too long like this, but back in the days I wasn't very good, we may say. This also is a character I did. 856 triangles. This one, the top one. But it looks decent. It looks pretty decent for this amount of triangles. I mean, yeah, this one is 5 million, the bottom one. Because the bottom one is the... Now, these both are the low poly. And this is super angular here, but the normal map is making it look like it's a lot more polygons than it is. This is just a gun. I told you I have done my fair share of guns. This is the high poly, 11 million polygons, and this is the low poly. The high poly is better, but yeah. This is some kind of a gun. This is another character I did by my design. It's yeah, interesting character. It has a low poly and everything. This is just a thing that I did recently. So this is something I did for a stream, but it was not on YouTube. It was for something else, stream, and I did it for I think 2 hours from some kind of a concept, but I changed it a little bit. This is my design, you know it because I did it in stream. These are some of the things I did for one of our games in Gameloft. Just you know, Roman legionnaire, medieval knight, World War II, and modern soldier. Just evolution of soldiers. This is a gun. This is another drawing. This is this. And again, they're starting. So my first 3D stuff was very bad. This was not very bad. This is very bad. Very like this is 2D. This is my this was my setup back in the days when I started 3D. I had this table, this keyboard, this monitor, Philips. I think it was 15 inches or something, and those speakers, I still have them. I still use them. They're 5+1. Only 2 are here, but still, yeah. And the toilet paper, of course. Every man needs a toilet paper on his desk. You know why. Hi Nico, do you do one-on-one paid portfolio reviews? I'm a third of the way through your female assassin course and I'm learning a lot. Yeah, I do, but my hourly rate is like around $50, so you have to be careful. This is a question I have had for a long time. When do you know when you are ready to start working in the game art industry? This is a very easy question. When you start getting offers for feedback, you definitely are ready. But before that, you have to, you have to compare your work to the standards in ArtStation, for example, and you see how you compare. And if you are kind of on a right path, you will see that, probably. And maybe get feedback from my Discord channel. If you go to my Discord server, there are people that are giving feedback. They are better than the rest, for example. And if you post something, they will give you some feedback. You will see where you are, probably. That's the thing. The toilet paper, yeah. The paper for what? Are you a man? Are you a man? Really? Nico, how many freelance jobs do you have in 2023? In 2023, I will tell you exactly, I had 2. So for almost 4 months, only 2, and 1 is now in progress. So it's very dry. It's very dry in 2023. This is amazing stuff. I don't know how I did this character. I don't know if I get it from somewhere or something, but this is probably my first 3D character, if I did it myself. I doubt that I did it myself. I think I took it from somewhere, but I did the overall thing. When I was doing this, I was so new in the 3D, I wasn't even dreaming about making characters. It was very hard for me to do very normal things. Those are in SolidWorks. This is just a drawing. And this is a car in 3D Max. This is a logo and stuff like this, yeah. Very, very old stuff. So that's it, guys. I think we should end this stream because it's too late now. It's over 2 hours. So yeah. Amazing stuff. Polymodeling or sculpting, which one better? For me, sculpting is the way to go now, but for some things you have to polymodel. That's inevitable. Do we have any characters with hand-painted textures? I think I do, but I didn't pay too much attention to the hand-painting part. In the past, you've said it's important to learn, be accurate before learning how to... Yes, we already said that. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, guys. This was a productive stream. I think, hopefully, everybody thinks so. And bye, see you in the next one, which hopefully it will be soon. Maybe next week. We'll see.